Venezuelan F-16 dives towards the aircraft carrier of USA. And we recently saw one video of how Venezuelan, the ships, they were coming in line with the aircraft carrier, and in the end they just avoided the whole sequence. And I don't know why Venezuelan ships and planes are doing these things. I don't know why are they doing this. So let's watch this video.
It's 6:19 a.m. in the Caribbean Sea, 140 miles north of Venezuela. The USS Gerald R. Ford was cutting through calm waters when two dots appeared on the horizon, slicing toward her formation like knives in the sunlight.
140 miles off Venezuela. I think so. This is Venezuela zone. I don't remember the amount of space you have to give to a country, but I think so. This is Venezuela part. Like it is the space where only Venezuelan ships can operate. So how come US ships are going there? I don't know.
Yeah.
They weren't pleasure planes. They were fast and they were closing. On the flight deck, sailors paused mid-routine as the sound of distant engines broke the morning calm. The air shimmered, heat bending the light, as two Venezuelan K-8W attack jets burst through the haze barely 2,000 feet above the water.
Oh.
No warning, no radio call, just aggression. They banked hard across the carrier's bow, a buzz past meant to intimidate. But intimidation only works when the target reacts. The Ford didn't. From the bridge, the commanding officer watched through binoculars, unflinching. "Maintain course," he said.
Okay.
The
Keep going.
Venezuelan lead jet pulled into a steep climb, afterburners flaring, trailing smoke that caught the dawn light like fire. The second followed, wings rocking. The move was too dangerous, too low, too fast, and far too close to a 100,000-ton nuclear carrier whose radar systems could track a tennis ball at 40 miles.
And they also have their own jets.
Down in the Combat Information Center, the Ford's air controllers were already watching every frame of it on the FLIR feeds. Their screens painted the truth in infrared. Empty hardpoints, no weapons. This wasn't an attack run, it was theater.
Yeah,
The
no
military
weapons.
version of a dare.
No point.
But here's the thing about dares at sea.
But why
One
they are
miscalculation, one slip in judgment, and you're not just buzzing a carrier, you're provoking a superpower.
doing this? Yeah.
At 0621 hours, the jets turned back towards the Venezuelan coast. For a moment, it looked like it was over, but it wasn't.
They
Because
came back.
2 minutes later, the radar picture changed. And what happened next would turn a simple flyby into an international incident.
Ooh.
Inside the Combat Direction Center, the lights were dim, the air was thick with focus. Radar scopes glowed pale green across the wall of screens. Every operator already knew what the tracks were, two Venezuelan K-8Ws. But now, something didn't fit. "Combat, we've got a second radar return, new vector, bearing 217, high speed and climbing." Another pair.
Another.
4 contacts total, heading straight for the Ford strike group. The watch officer leaned in. "Plot it, confirm IFF." "Negative IFF, no response to hails." The room fell quiet except for the hum of consoles. But nobody panicked. They trained for this 100 times.
And also
Yeah,
they
so
know
true.
that
Deck,
they don't have weapons.
Air Wing
Yeah.
8 snapped into motion. 2 FA-18E Super Hornets were prepped for launch.
Okay, now they are ready.
Yellow shirts waved them forward. The catapult crews crouched into position. Hornet 1, wings spread, set trim takeoff, thumbs up. The shooter dropped his hand, and a blur of metal and sound ripped off the bow.
Oh, they can fly two at a
Ford's
time.
tower tracked both Hornets as they climbed
was
into
shocking.
formation,
Yeah, I
banking
thought
left toward
they
the
can only
incoming
do
radar
one at a
pings.
time.
Their task was simple: intercept, identify, and de-escalate if possible. Down below, the operations officer watched on the big screen. The range was closing fast, 60 miles, 50, 42.
Oh.
"Bridge, combat, recommend we tighten escort screen. Bring destroyers Mason and Thomas Hudner forward." "Approved, maintain speed and heading." The Ford didn't flinch and didn't turn. To the untrained eye, it looked like a provocation. To the Navy, it was posture. The
Posture.
unspoken message of American carriers for decades.
Yeah.
We don't move for noise.
Yes.
By 0626
If you
hours,
attack,
the
we
Hornets
attack
were
harder.
climbing through 15,000 feet. And what they were about to see would confirm that this encounter was no accident. At 15,000
Why
feet,
are they doing this?
sunlight hits the Hornets like fire on metal. Their engines howl against the Caribbean air as they push east, streaking towards the unknown. The lead pilot, call sign Viper 1, scans his radar display. 4 solid returns, spacing tight, altitude increasing. Control, Viper 1. Confirm bandits, 4 contacts bearing 217, angles 16. Copy, Viper 1. Positive ID, Venezuelan K-8Ws. Rules of engagement, defensive only.
That is
Roger
nice.
that. We'll keep it clean. Below them, the USS Gerald R. Ford is a speck on the water, flanked by her destroyers in perfect diamond formation. The carrier's Spy 3 radar paints the entire sky with precision, feeding every metric, speed, altitude, vector, straight to the Hornet's cockpit.
It is crazy
data
how, just
At
one plane
0628
fly
hours,
by.
the 2 lead K-8Ws
can cause so
cut
much
through a thin
chaos.
layer
Yeah.
of cloud. Contrails slicing through the blue. Viper 1 to contact. Identify yourself immediately. You are approaching a U.S. carrier group operating in international airspace. Static. But then a voice, thick with accent.
Oh.
U.S.
They
aircraft, you are violating Bolivarian territory.
Yeah,
You
that's what
turn
I
away
thought.
now.
The aircraft might be
Venezuelans
violating
cut
their
across the
territory.
Hornet's nose at just under 400 knots. One so close that Viper 1's helmet display
You guys
flashes
didn't know about
proximity
this?
alert.
Ooh.
Watch your spacing, his wingman calls. Viper 1 steadies his grip. We're not here to dance, boys. Just watch the show. Back on the Ford, every radar sees it in real time. The flight paths crossing within seconds of collision. Bridge, combat, Venezuelan aircraft executing unsafe maneuvers.
Why?
Copy that. Maintain calm posture, no course change.
So they're
Well,
turning
one
back
thing's
or
clear
not?
now. This is not a mistake. It's bait.
Yeah.
At 17,000 feet, the 2 Super Hornets shadow the Venezuelan formation like wolves trailing a reckless pack. The sky is bright, but
They're
tense.
escorting them back.
Thin clouds gliding beneath them, the Caribbean stretching endless blue below. On Viper 1's FLIR screen, the K-8Ws drift closer to each other, tightening formation. No missiles, but open hardpoints glint under the sun. Visual intimidation, pure and simple. Control, they're crossing into our flight path again, distance 800 meters. Copy, maintain
And
shadow
all this
posture,
is happening
record
within
everything.
2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
The Ford's E-2D Hawkeye, circling high above, feeds its radar picture directly into the Hornet's helmets. Every move, every deviation is cataloged. The carrier's crew below is silent, watching the data unfold like a live chess game. Then, one Venezuelan jet banks sharply left, breaking formation. The maneuver is fast, aggressive, and dangerously low.
But
Straight
why?
across Viper 2's nose. The American pilot's tone stays cool. Forward control, contact just executed a proximity pass, range 200 meters.
Oh.
Below, the Ford's Combat Direction Center tracks every angle. Spy 3 radar sweep, plotting
And
the
the
jets
worst
in
part is
perfect
they are
digital
doing this with
clarity.
F-16.
On the big board,
The
the
jet
distance
they have
drops
taken
to
from
6
USA.
miles from the carrier.
Yeah.
Bridge, combat, recommend alerting CRAM to standby. Affirmative, do not engage. The K-8Ws bank again, closing in tighter, almost too tight. The next pass will bring them within seconds of disaster.
Oh.
And this time, someone is going to make a huge mistake.
No firing.
6:32 hours.
Again, see, half an hour.
Inside
Yeah.
the USS Gerald R. Ford's Combat Information Center, every console is glowing with precision comm. Operators track 4 red icons weaving through the sky above the blue outline of the strike group. The Ford's bridge stays silent. No yelling, no chaos, just controlled focus. Contacts now within 12 miles, a radar tech calls out. Speed holding high subsonic. Copy, tactical action officer replies. CRAM to warm standby. CWIS manual mode. Above the deck, sailors glance skyward. They can't see the jets clearly, but they can feel the tension. Every vibration through the deck plates, every coded message over the ship's comms.
It's like,
The Ford
don't
holds
do
steady,
anything stupid.
20 knots
Yeah.
north-northwest. The destroyers Thomas Hudner and Mason tighten their screen, forming a steel wall ahead of the carrier. Electronic warfare suites are active, quietly jamming enemy sensors just enough to muddy any targeting radar. On the flight deck, the aircrew stays in motion. Refueling hoses snap, deck handlers wave hand signals, and the launch crews stay ready for a second scramble if needed. nobody panics. This is routine, and that's what makes it unnerving.
This is routine.
Inside
for
the
them.
Combat Information Center, a calm voice breaks the silence. Bridge, combat. Contacts now 8 miles, still closing.
8 miles. Very close.
Ford's captain steps closer to the central console, his eyes locked on the radar screen. Maintain heading. Do not alter speed. It's not stubbornness, it's doctrine. A U.S. carrier doesn't yield under pressure.
They
The
don't need
captain's
to.
words carry through the bridge. If we move for every jet that postures, the sea stops respecting the flag.
Ooh, big line.
Outside,
Yes.
the KAWs continue their
The
approach.
sea has to
dipping
respect
low
the
enough for their
flag,
shadows to
the
ripple
American
across
flag.
the ocean. And then, one of them dives.
Oh.
The
Oh.
Venezuelan lead jet rolls inverted at barely 1,000 feet and dives straight towards the carrier group.
Why?
The second follows close, cutting through the sky like a blade. From the Ford's bridge, it looks reckless. An intimidation run gone way too far.
Yes.
Bridge, combat, contacts now within 5 miles, altitude dropping fast.
They want
Down
to do
below,
a flyby?
Phalanx Sea-Whiz turret slews automatically, its 20-millimeter barrels tracking the lead aircraft. The system sensors detect movement faster than any human eye can blink. The only thing keeping it from firing is a silent command. Stand by. In the sky, Viper 1 and Viper 2 lock their helmets towards the Venezuelans.
Oh.
Cameras recording everything. Through the canopy, the American pilot can see the other man's face. Visor glinting, jaw tight, hands trembling on the stick. Forward control, they're coming in hot. Range 1.2 miles. Copy. Hold your line. Do not escalate. The first KAW roars over the destroyer Mason's bow. Engines screaming. Wake turbulence rolling off its wings. The shockwave hits the
That
sea
is
like
very
thunder,
close.
rocking the ship.
But they don't have weapons.
Then, with zero
But
clearance,
still,
it passes
no
over
need to
Viper
do that.
2, less than 600 feet between them. Ford Tower, we've got unsafe maneuvering, Viper 2 shouts. That's a near miss. Maintain discipline, the response comes back. Calm and precise.
They are still waiting.
Yeah.
The Hornets do not react. No radar locks, no counter moves. They simply slide behind the Venezuelans, shadowing them like ghosts. On board the Ford, the Sea-Ram spins quietly, its sensors locked but silent. The entire strike group holds its breath. For 10 seconds, both sides hang in that impossible balance. One false move away from catastrophe.
can
Then,
just
almost
break.
anticlimactically, the KAWs pull up and bank away.
Again?
Engines fading toward the southern horizon.
Oh.
The sea goes quiet again. But nobody relaxes just yet.
They might come back.
At 0637 hours, the radar picture begins to change. The Venezuelan jets, once charging head-on, now peel away from the formation. One turns east toward the mainland. The other lingers just a little too long, circling wide like it wants one last look.
Oh.
Bridge, combat. Contact 1 retreating. Contact 2 maintains altitude 9,000 feet. Copy. Maintain tracking. Hold posture. Ford's Combat Information Center doesn't blink. Every camera, radar, and FLIR feed stays locked on that departing target. And even as they fade, the systems record everything. Their heat signatures, their flight profiles, radio emissions. Nothing is wasted. Up in the sky, the Hornets keep their distance. Viper 1 to control, hostiles turning south, speed decreasing, no visual weapons. Copy, Viper 1. Continue shadow, do not pursue past 50 miles. From his cockpit, Viper 1 watches the smaller jets disappear into the hazy blue horizon.
It is good that
For a
America
moment,
didn't do
it's
any
almost
attack.
peaceful. Just the
Yeah.
hum of
Otherwise,
engines and the endless
this would have
Caribbean
been
below.
huge.
Then he catches something on his radar scope.
Again.
A faint spike in emissions.
I don't know what they
One
want.
Venezuelan jet just pinged the carrier group with a targeting radar.
Oh.
Brief, but
They're
deliberate.
targeting.
Forward, be advised,
They
we
just-
were painted.
Like, you know,
Copy that.
log
Log the pulse. No response required.
the target.
The Ford doesn't react. No evasive turn, no flares. Just data collection and discipline. Minutes later, the Venezuelans vanish from radar entirely.
Finally.
The Ford maintains course, speed 20 knots, heading north-northwest. But the story isn't over.
Ooh.
Because just an hour later, Venezuelan state television airs grainy footage of the same jets claiming they forced the American carrier to retreat.
Oh.
The world sees propaganda.
Story
Yeah,
is totally
this is
different.
Navy sees
propaganda.
a different truth. The Ford never turned an inch. And somewhere in that calm, disciplined
You know, this
silence
history
lies
depends
the
on the
real
history
power of the
teller.
carrier strike group.
Yeah.
By midday, the incident was already echoing across international news. Venezuelan officials hailed it as a sovereign air patrol, while Washington called it unsafe and unprofessional. The truth sat somewhere in between, in that thin line between deterrence and provocation. Inside the Pentagon's morning brief, analysts replayed the FLIR footage frame by frame.
Oh,
Every
because they have
maneuver,
footage
every
so they can
radio
clearly
call,
show
every
it.
second
Yeah.
of that 600-foot pass was
And you can
logged.
catch the lie.
What they saw wasn't a calculated attack.
Hmm.
It was a show of force gone wrong. A political message written in afterburners and altitude warnings. For naval strategists, this wasn't new.
Why
This kind
would
of encounters
Venezuela
gray zone
want to
tactics
show that
are
we are
designed to
stronger
test
than USA?
reactions,
I don't
to
know.
measure just how close you can fly before a superpower blinks. And the Ford didn't blink. The carrier's restraint sent a different kind of message. Not one of fear, but of control. Anyone can pull the trigger. Discipline is harder.
Yeah.
That's what keeps small provocations from turning into global incidents.
This was very, very good from the US, aircraft carrier, because they did not attack. They just waited and waited, and they were very, very calm. This is something you can only expect from a very big army, because they know if they start to attack, then the whole army gets in, and it is the end for Venezuelans. And why would Venezuela want to show that they have shooed away? I think this is just a David and Goliath story, that okay, we are very small in front of USA. Even then, we can just shoo them away.
I think so. They just wanted to make a story and show it to the people like how strong we are. But this was the very professional behavior from the side of the USA, because they didn't attack. They were so calm and they were so chill. And as he said, they were not blinking at all. So it was all done beautifully.
Actually, so what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.